here. All right.
Again, I can't remember.
I'm sorry. All right, how you doing? I'm Kyle Wilson. I'm the salesman for Ragan and Massey. We're in a field, a prime ryegrass field in Clinton, Louisiana this morning. We have Chuck Huff with us. Chuck is the manager of the Feliciana Farmers Co-op here in Clinton, Louisiana. He plants a lot of prine and ryegrass and round forage oats in the area. Chuck has a lot of knowledge on prine and prine ryegrass and round forage and fertilizer applications and just grazing cattle in general. Chuck is really good, a good source of information there. So let's visit with him a few minutes and hopefully we can pick up some information on that will be useful that you can use on your farm. So, all right, Chuck, thank you for being with us today. Let's talk about this field a little bit here. This is a prine ryegrass field. When did you plant this field?
Planted this in mid-October.
Mid-October. Okay, and you fertilized? Did you mix fertilize at planting, or did you? How did you do that?
We mixed DAP and potash at planting at a rate of 100 pounds per acre of each, and 40 pounds of prine ryegrass.
Okay, and did you do that on prepared bed, or did you just come in and overseed on the sod that was here?
This was a prepared bed.
All right, so you disc and you come in and mixed and planted 40 pound per acre prine plus the mixed fertilizer. Okay. All right. When did you get a stand here in this field?
We got a stand sometime in December. We had really dry weather up until the end of November, and around the 1st of December we had a real good stand here.
Okay. So, so when were you able to start grazing this field?
January the 1st is when the cows were turned in on it.
Okay. And you came back in January and made another fertilizer application?
We came back in February and made another fertilizer application.
Okay. So what was that, urea?
It was just urea.
100 pounds or?
About 125 pounds a day.
Okay. So really, you planted in October, and like most of Louisiana, we were really dry last fall. So you were actually around December 1st or so getting a stand of ryegrass here?
Yes. Okay.
And then you came back and fertilized again in early January, but you started grazing on January the 1st. And,
right.
And okay, they hadn't got off, the cattle hadn't been off of this since January 1st, or?
The cattle's been off of this for about 2 weeks in February. And they were put back on in March, and they hadn't been off of it since.
Okay. All right, so that's actually pretty good to be able to get a stand and in December and be grazing it by January and to be able to graze it hard like that. That's really good. Prine is a late maturing variety. How long can you expect prine to last in the pastures here?
Normally we get to the end of May grazing on this.
So we go to the end of May and getting big yields, everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good. All right, Chuck, you also do a lot of planting on round forage oats. The Ram Oats are used for a lot of early grazing, and a lot of people are using those in their forage programs. Can you talk a little bit about what you see with Ram forage oats?
Well, I've seen with Ram forage oats in our area, they grow really well, they grow really fast, and they're cold tolerant. They handle the cold really well. We had a freeze around January the 7th, and they held up well during that freeze, a lot better than I thought they would. They came on and held their ground during the freeze.
So they won't freeze out like a regular bob oat or something like that. They'll hang in there and take that cold and give you a lot of good grazing.
They sure will.
All right, a lot of people, and it's not in the field we're in today, but a lot of people will mix prine ryegrass with round forage oats to give you the early grazing with the oat and the late grazing with the prine ryegrass. Tell me a little bit about that, what you see your customers doing.
I have quite a few customers that plant the oats with their ryegrass, and it works out really well for early grazing. They can come in and graze early, helps them when they start calving, and then when the ryegrass later on, when it's just mostly ryegrass, like in May, it helps your breed back period a lot.
So it's important when you have cows with calves on them and you're trying to get them bred back, you just about got to have a good winter forage like prine ryegrass or ram forage oats, don't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Surely. I think we can all see the results on these cattle here. These cattle hadn't been fed anything but grass. These are grass. This is grass-fed beef.
All right, we'll show you a few pictures of the cattle. Let you take a look at the ryegrass. Chuck, I want to thank you for your time today. We appreciate you answering the questions. And, you know, I want to recommend to anybody that lives in the Clinton area to get with Feliciana Farmers Co-op. They'll do a great job for you. They'll take care of any of your on-the-farm needs. And, Chuck, I promise you will do a good job for you. So thank you for supporting Ragan and Massey and joining us today on our Facebook Live. We'll see you next time. Thanks.